This is a review for the TV movie, Like Normal People from 1979. The movie starts out showing the couple Roger and Virginia at the hospital for getting blood tests, for blood tests, and they were called kids, which in reality they're not. That was the attitude in the late 70s. Then we cut back to 1955 when Roger was a little baby with his brother. As it turns out, Roger's mother totally denies and is upset that her younger son Roger is developmentally disabled. It's really hard on the mom, as you can see in the movie as we get through the movie. Roger at 4 has to hold his little brother's hand to go to sleep at night, as he noticed too in the movie. Roger's parents have been to several doctors and psychiatrists to see what his intelligent quotient or IQ is, and at that point they determine at age 4 that Roger is what they call developmentally disabled or slow. Roger's mom denies it at first. It's very hard on Roger's mom, but then they make plans to move to Los Angeles, California also as well. Then flash forward into the late 60s when Roger was 18 and working at the YMCA. Rogers is accused because of his disability of sending pornographic letters in the mail, which was a federal offense at that point in time in the U.S. Roger gets very upset and doesn't want to work at the Y anymore because of this. Well, myself, I've been through something very similar at my old church, where I was accused of misrepresenting the church when I wasn't. And as Roger's parents age and get older, they can't really look after him anymore, and he goes to a home for the developmentally disabled, which is called the Feeney Home in Los Angeles, California. However, there are a lot more challenges ahead for Roger at the group home. First and foremost, Rogers meets his future wife, Virginia, at the group home. And then Roger invites his wife, Virginia, to his room, which was illegal, which wasn't allowed at the group home at the time. And they start loving each other, and which the group home staff is against, which I think is wrong too. So later in the group home scene, Roger takes Virginia to the common room where the TV is, so Roger could put his hand around Virginia. But Rogers gets into trouble, and Virginia into trouble from the group home staff for the Feeney home. A bit later in the movie, Roger and Virginia Roger gets an apartment as set up by the Feeney home for the developmentally disabled. So Roger gets upset. He doesn't want to clean or cook because he accidentally burned something. at the apartment. It was apartment 12A. And then Roger and Virginia spend more time together, like watching TV and doing things that young couples do, like neurotypical things. And Rogers asks his dad for a $10 down payment for an engagement ring, which Roger gets. And then Roger finally gets a job at a restaurant as a busboy, earning $50 a week to help pay for the ring. However, Virginia's parents at first do not agree with this situation. Roger seeing Virginia. However, Roger's older brother, who was jealous at first in the movie, now is becoming an advocate for Roger. And Roger's older brother really does stand up for Roger, as you'll see in the movie as you watch it later on. It also turns out that when Roger does leave the group home and he does have an apartment, and Virginia also gets a separate apartment as well too in that same complex. And also in the movie, when Roger wants to take Virginia swimming at the pool, Virginia is a little afraid because he got pushed in the pool. She got pushed in the pool, I should say. But Roger takes Virginia into the pool and she's not scared anymore. And Roger gets the job as busboy at the restaurant. And he takes orders and clears tables. Well, it turns out that Roger does have the odd bad day, and he goes to the men's washroom and he gets into trouble from the waitress. That's par for the course. It happens to everybody. And Roger gets the engagement ring. He puts $10 down to get it. By the way, the name of the restaurant that Roger works at is called Love's, with a heart-shaped sign. And then Roger and Virginia see each other a lot. And she sees them at the apartment a lot too. And does the cooking and cleaning and the basic household chores. Then with Roger, he has a setback when his parents say he's too young to get married, when he's talking on a payphone and slams down the handset. As you can see, in the late 70s, the developmentally disabled faced a lot of hurdles and challenges. To live normal adult lives. We've come a long way since then, but still got a ways to go here in 2026. Eventually, Roger and Virginia do get married, but they put up with a lot of crap to get there. Roger's older brother gives the director of the Feeney home a lot of flack for not letting them get married. They think and the group home operator or owner thinks that Roger and Virginia should not get married because of their developmental disabilities. The stark fact is the group home they were at before they went to the apartment was a cold mental institution basically for the developmentally disabled. It was. There's still a lot of that in the US today in 2026, unfortunately. Then when Roger and Virginia get married, the parents finally cave in and approve of it. And they get married at either an Anglican or Catholic church toward the end of the movie. And then they go on a honeymoon at a hotel. Then the movie ends, and at the end of the movie, they say, at the time in 1979, when the movie was released, that everyone in 4 U.S. states, it was illegal for the developmentally disabled to get married. And 1 in 4 U.S. states, I hope that's changed since then. Anyways, I'd highly recommend, if you're into disability rights history, that you do watch Like Normal People, or get it on VHS or watch it on YouTube. Or get it on DVD, wherever you could find it. It was a made-for-TV movie, so it won't be that easy to find. Anyway, that's my review for Like Normal People, 1979, made for TV. It's Derek McIntyre signing off.